So I put a 2000 watt inverter in this Prius with two 100 amp hour lithium batteries to serve as a off-grid power station, so it can idle during the evening times when it's not so hot, and then the Prius will feed from the battery. So here's what we got going on here. So there's a DC to DC charger. I wouldn't recommend going 40 amps. I would recommend going 20 amps. This is a little overkill and heats up pretty quick in here, so it might overheat. So these are the positive and negative cables coming from the battery over here. They're going into the input of the DC to DC charger. And then out from the output of the DC to DC charger, we're going straight over to the batteries. And then there's a 2000 watt inverter there that's hooked up to the batteries, and that feeds my e-bike charger. I got a Milwaukee charger in there, and then I also have this running out to my AC in my shed. So this is all working out. One of the things is that the Prius is set with this little low voltage shutoff switch, so that when the car is off, then the voltage sits around 12.5 and it shuts off this little relay here, which turns on the DC to DC charger. So when the car is on, the voltage is like 13.4, and so then that allows the DC to DC charger to turn on. So I just have this wired up to the Prius's battery here, and then the output side of the switch of the low voltage charger is going into the red ignition lead on the DC to DC charger. Then I have another fan here that helps blow the hot air out of there when we're driving and whatnot. So one of the things that I will mention is that this, because it's older, has overheated on me multiple times in multiple vehicles. And one of the ways when you get a red fault light, it's most likely that it's overheated if you live in a hot area. So one of the things to do is to disconnect the red wires from both sides, and then take a screwdriver and short this side, the input side, out. And that clears all the voltage out of the capacitors and resets the system, so that when you plug it back in, it starts pulling again. So I've done that like 5 or 6 times, and every time it's worked. So yeah, there's the setup. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Yeah, it's prone to overheating, so just be careful, especially in hot climates. Like if you're leaving your car idling in the sun, that's probably not a good idea. So the best time to run this would be like during the evening time when it's nice and cold, and maybe run the fan inside the Prius because it'll get pretty hot. So yeah, but yeah, this can run my air conditioner for like 4 hours, or so it pretty much does all I need. And I can cook with the cooktop or put a rice cooker in there. Yep. Peace.